Hey, it's Mike Elgan here. Just going to be reviewing this little guy right here. This is the BB-8 by Sphero. You've heard a lot about it. And this is a really interesting product. It's definitely the coolest of all of the Star Wars accessories and products coming out in advance of Star Wars The Force Awakens. Now, there was some false reports flying around. I even uttered this myself, which is that Sphero actually developed this with Disney. That turns out to be false. In fact, the Sphero, the BB-8 that's in the movie, The Force Awakens, was created by and designed and conceived by Creature Animatronics, which does this sort of thing for Hollywood. And then Sphero came along later and got the rights to build a working model, both for Disney for promotional purposes and also for this particular toy, the BB-8 by Sphero. This is a $149.99 robot. This is a real robot. And the brains of the operation is your phone, your Android phone, your iPhone. And everybody's surprised by how small this is. When they hear about it, when they see it on TV or whatever, they think it's going to be larger. It's about the size, the body here is about the size of a baseball. So you get a sense that of that before you buy it. It's a pretty small little thing. It comes with a charging dock that's also a display stand. You charge it for 3 hours and you get about an hour of rolling around and exhibiting its appealing personality. And again, this is a real robot. Sphero makes robots that they specialize in these kind of ball robots where everything is encapsulated inside. The charging is wireless, the head comes right off. It's not actually attached. It flies around and rolls around and looks around just by the internals of this thing. Which it's actually a magnet, but Sphero calls it the Force to keep the head on its round shoulders there. This is fast. It goes up to 5 miles an hour. You can move it under direct remote control. You can also put it on sort of autopilot, and it will actually map the room that it's in, roughly, and it'll convey that information back to the app, tell you how fast it's going, where it thinks the obstacles in the room are, and so on. And it can show VR holograms, and you can record your own holograms with this thing. And play them for other people. Of course, it doesn't actually show the hologram in real life. You have to be looking at the Sphero through the app, and it will show the Sphero through your phone's camera and then show the hologram on the screen of the device. It's still a pretty convincing and very cool effect. You know, it keeps track of how much distance it rolls and its current speed at all time. Now, let's talk about the hardware. As I said, the body part of this is completely sealed. There's no screws, there's nothing in it, and all of the innards are completely waterproof. So you could actually throw this in water, and no water would get inside of it. It's one of the nice things about this. It stays upright all the time because it's weighted on the bottom, and inside there are two polyurethane wheels, and under the head there are two little roller wheels as well to help the head roll around based on where the magnet tells it to go. It's got 2 lithium-ion batteries, which again are wirelessly charged. There's an induction charger inside the display stand, and there are different colored lights in it as well. And so there are 2 red lights and 1 blue light. And one cool pro tip is that the blue light will always show the direction that it intends to go when it goes forward. So if you're looking at it and you're not sure which direction it's going to go in, just look for that blue light, and that's the direction it will go in. Now, the software, you know, is an app, basically. It's actually a very sophisticated app that's done very well. It's very well designed. And it has basically 4 modes. It has drive, message, patrol, and settings. The drive lets you control it. It takes a little learning to figure out how to control this thing. It's a little squirrely because, again, it's a round ball. And if you're on a flat surface, a flat floor that's smooth as opposed to a carpet, it's going to go flying around and bumping into things. Fortunately, it's super durable. Now, if you set it into patrol mode, it will go around on its own, making noises, figuring out its environment. And if you go into settings, there are lots of things you can do in the settings. You can control various things. You can turn on or off the sounds. You can switch to metric units. You can even send diagnostics or go into demo mode, or you can even force a firmware update for the device itself. And the base has a button also. If you press that button, it sort of comes to life and does a variety of things, makes noises and things like that. So it's very, very cool. And there's nothing else on the market like this. This is just a completely unique product. Now let's go through the pros and cons. The pros are, number one, it is very charming. This is a convincing creature. It's got lots of personality. It says things. It rolls around. If you say it's a trap, it runs away. So yeah, it does understand some basic voice commands. And it's just a fun thing to have around. If you have pets or kids or whatever, they're going to just never get tired of having this thing running around, you know, basically having its personality. It's very durable, so it's always smashing into walls, but it never seems to get a scratch on it, which is a great feature. And it gets new features over time, so the app will be updated over time. And as what I'm hearing is that as we get closer to the movie, it'll get more like little teaser movie stuff that will reveal more about this character and what it does in the movie. And the app is really surprisingly well designed. The cons are that some people will think this is expensive. It's $149.99, which, you know, for a little toy like this sounds expensive. I think that it's actually a really good price, but some people don't want to spend $150 for something that really isn't of any practical value. It constantly crashes into walls or rolls off tables, or it'll go downstairs. It has no ability. It's not like a Roomba vacuum cleaner where it can sort of monitor itself and make sure that it doesn't go in the wrong place. It will just go randomly. It'll go right out the door and down the street if you don't keep the door closed. And it's kind of hard to control. It's not as easy to control as, say, a little car or a walking robot or something like that, because it is a ball, so it's a little squirrely. And what's my recommendation? Try, buy, or don't buy? What, are you kidding? This is definitely a buy. And that is my review of the BB-8 by Sphero. I hope you enjoyed this review, and if you get one, I hope you enjoy it. Make sure you take video and post it so we can see it, and shoot me a note and let me know how you like it at elgan.com.